Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. We're joined by Ibrahim Abdullahi, who is a fellow, Chartered Institute of Personnel Management, and he's also the Vice Chairman, Mediation and Conflict Resolution Committee of the Institute. Thank you for coming on today. We're speaking about conflict resolution, alternative dispute resolution. I think all of them will need to kick in now, especially now that we're approaching this weekend's general election, and several comments being made with respect to preparations, how people should go about voting. You've been monitoring what's going on in the country. What do you think, especially now that we're approaching these elections?
Thank you very much. I think the most important issue we should talk upon now, and people should ruminate about and work upon, is to build on the success we have achieved after the presidential and the National Assembly elections. Kudos to the president-elect. Kudos to the president, that's Goodluck Jonathan. And kudos to the National Peace Committee for a wonderful job the committee has done. But we should, as a matter of seriousness, have to build on that. And if we have to build on that, we have to work on some trouble spots in the forthcoming elections. Judging by the result of the presidential election and National Assembly elections that we had about 10 days ago.
So what's your suggestion on what we need to do about this trouble spot, and which one would you start with?
Out of the 36 states in the Federation, I see dangers coming in about 18 states of the Federation.
18?
18. And I've listed them.
Okay. Let's go.
By political zones. And if I will start with the Southwest, security agencies have to put a close watch on Lagos, Osun, and Ondo.
But Osun is not having governorship elections.
In the State House of Assembly elections, there are issues. Because the sitting governor is APC, and some
The sitting governor, okay, yes.
is APC. And some members of PDPs are threatening to unseat the members of the Osun State House of Assembly.
What about Ondo?
Ondo, having presently PDP governor, and they couldn't deliver on the mandate to the PDP. So APC is threatening to take over, and the deputy governor has put out to APC. So it's going to be a tug of war there.
Lagos.
Lagos, nobody expected what the PDP got in Lagos. Too close to that of APC. And it's going to be a battle royale. So that's why I'm looking at those 3 states in the Southwest as being trouble spots. Now to the Southeast. Anambra should be closely watched. Imo and Ebonyi. In the South-South, Anambra, there seems to be love lost presently between the government of Obiano and the PDP following the result of the last election. They instructed that their supporters should vote for the president, Goodluck Jonathan, and during the National Assembly election, they should vote Abga. The electorate did otherwise. But Abga did not believe. They are still believing that they have a lot to pull with the PDP. And if you watch the state broadcast of Governor Obiano, you will know that it's a trouble spot. Now in the South-South, Rivers and Edo should be closely watched.
No, what about the other 2 in the South?
In the Southeast, you mentioned 2 other states, Ebonyi.
Yeah. Ebonyi, you are aware that a PDP governor there is being suspected to have sponsored a candidate to the Labour Party. And if the story is true, I can't say it is true or false. that governor may eventually work for his candidate in the Labour Party while still remaining in the PDP. Imo State, a sitting governor of APC is there, but PDP won the presidential election there. What do we know the people of the state are thinking of? What are they up to?
So it might.
These are the issues that may feature seriously and may likely cause confusion. And I have my advice in that regard. Now I go to North Central, where I have
South.
South, I mentioned Rivers and Edo, and it's obvious.
Break it down for those.
Oshiomhole could not deliver to the APC in the presidential election.
That's where their national chairman is from.
That's where their national chairman is from, and there are some other juggernauts there. So PDP and APC are going to...
Yeah, but you saw how hotly, are we still in that era of, people delivering, as it were, to a presidential or a governorship election? If nowadays we're talking about card readers.
I am analyzing to you the pattern of voting that has taken place and what could result in the forthcoming elections. PDP may gain some states, and APC may gain more states in the north to his side.
I hate to cut you here. Go ahead before we come back and start looking at them in details. What about Rivers? You said it's obvious. I want to hear your own analysis.
It's obvious. In Rivers, nobody expected the result that came out in respect of the presidential and National Assembly election. Judging by the political difference between APC and PDP, you would think that it's going to be a very close margin in terms of winning. But you could see how people have voted during that election. Now APC is threatening that they have been cheated and they are going to fight back. This is the real issue that will cause confusion in Rivers. And of all the states in the Federation, you could bear me witness that more crises have been witnessed in Rivers than any other states in the Federation, and you know why.
So Northwest.
Northwest is where we are going to have the least crisis in terms of confusion, and possibly it is Kaduna. That's the only state. The whole of Northwest, you could see the way it's tilting towards. Now, I go to North Central. Kogi, Nasarawa, Benue, Plateau, and Niger should be watched closely. They are the trouble spots of North Central, where there may likely be crisis during the governorship and state assembly election. And finally, in the Northeast, Gombe, Adamawa, Bauchi, and Taraba. So my advice is to call on the Inspector General of Police that no matter what is being done to ensure peace and stability, free and fair election, violence-free election, attention should be paid to the areas I have mentioned, because of the fact that we have to build on the success we have achieved.
Now, how
by
does
President Jonathan accepting the result of the election even before we concluded the election.
so then
Trustworthy.
the question then will be, how does the result of the presidential elections affect all that you have mentioned? Because it will have an impact.
The results in this regard, in some states, people have opted to vote for Buhari because they believe there is need for change in Nigeria. Some people that voted for Buhari may not vote for APC in the state assembly elections as well as the governorship election.
Yeah,
and those people who voted for Jonathan during the presidential election will vote APC in the governorship election.
In some of those areas then,
Yes.
where you say it's going to be fiercely or keenly contested, don't you think that, the other parties may just say, okay, well, they won't put in much of a resistance?
Instead of them relaxing, they are warming up to put up serious fights. And that is why I want to call on the Commissioner of Police commissioners of police in the 18 states of the Federation to redouble their effort and be able to have grip of their state during the elections. Otherwise, they will have to answer some questions or query from the IG.
But all